Hello everyone, James from the 104th Voice Squad here. I'm back playing the Seduce Me game, and this is part 4. At this point, we just learned about Malik's and the BS that's most likely going to happen later on involving him. And my character is pretty scared about, having to deal with him. Also, we found out that Grandfather knows a little bit of magic. Grandfather's a wizard. Probably Gryffindor or something. We got training to do. Well, I don't know about me, but the incubi do. Yeah, this is where we're at right now. I just woke up, and let's see what the heck am I going to do about this now. I slowly opened my eyes, letting the voices of my dream echo in my head and force me awake. I rubbed my eyes before sitting up and looking at my clock. 7 a.m. Why am I up so early? I fell back onto the bed and closed my eyes, trying to go back to sleep. However, something kept me awake. Why? It's too early even to be alive. I gave up and sat up, staring at the fireplace across from my bed. A sigh escaped from between my lips before I threw my legs over the side of the bed. What to do at 7 a.m. in the morning? I don't want to do homework, though. Make some coffee? Explore the house? I'm drinking coffee right now, actually, guys. I am not a morning person. I'm leaning towards this. Exploring the house. Let's do it. I decided it was a good idea to wander around the house. I never really explored it much as a child, so there were bound to be new surprises. Oh, new surprises, you say? Maybe something that could help me in my situation, perhaps? Maybe. Okay, let's find out. Well, come on, feet, let's go on an adventure! Yay! I stood and exited my room, hoping that the boys were still asleep. Especially Eric. I began to wander the halls on the end of the house, opening each door to find out what room each door led to. Okay. Quickly I found an old office. A desk and chair lay by the far side as a large bookshelf of documents and memorabilia donned its nooks and crannies. There were a couple of pictures of me growing up peeking from the shelf as I walked further into the room. I don't believe I've been in here before. I tried to recall memories of ever seeing this room, coming up with nothing as a result. This room was new to me. Did I want to disturb the furniture? You mean I'm curious. I quickly opened the shelves and any drawers I saw in the room. In a couple of them were books and even sewing kits. I assumed they were used for my grandfather's toys, so I left them alone. Just in case he wants to come back from the dead or something and make a toy or whatever. I don't know. One drawer, however, was locked, no matter how many times I pulled. Come on, open! Nothing. It would not budge. The drawer beside it, though, did reveal a laptop. Why was there a laptop in the drawer? I lifted it from the drawer and carried it over to the desk and chair, opening it. It was a high-tech laptop with a retina scanner as a pass lock. I was not sure whether or not to try to unlock it or not. Sure, why not? Whatever. I decided to try. I turned on the computer and leaned my face near the retina scanner, lining the camera up with my eye. To my surprise, I heard a ping come from the computer before the screen opened to a laptop. Huh, look at that. On the desktop were documents and folders labeled with different aspects of the Anderson Company. Taxes, profits, bylaws, products. The list went on and on. If I really did want to become the CEO of the Anderson Toys Company, I had everything about it at my fingertips. But I don't! Right? Yeah, I don't know. This whole time I didn't feel like the character wanted to. But now I have everything I want if I want to be the CEO. Well, I guess it's good to know for later. Dad would sure be impressed. Not about impressing him right now. One icon, however, stood out from the rest. Virago. I double-clicked the icon, but no window came up. Instead, I heard a large click come from the drawer that was locked. What the? I slowly left my seat and walked over to the drawer, attempting to open it again. It slid open smoothly in the direction of my pulling hand, revealing 2 books. One was a plain black journal with a tie to keep it closed. The other was bound in leather with cryptic symbols all over the cover. Oh boy, what did I walk into? I found a magic book, didn't I? I took out the journal and skimmed through it, seeing my grandfather's notes. They were all detailed explanations and opinions on his findings on demon magic. Wow, I found the jackpot. Time to learn some abracadabras. He really did know about magic. Alright, time to learn a spell. Or something. I sat down at the desk and read through the journal further, finding drawings and sketches of symbols and magic circles, each with their own different meanings and effects. It was all fascinating. There was even a page of important spells to know. I read through them, trying to memorize them into my mind. Maybe there's an escape spell somewhere in there, because I'm probably going to need that soon. I don't know what came over me, but I started to feel more energetic and more powerful simply reading my grandfather's notes. Cool. I was suddenly aware of the energy that surrounded my body and the power that was around the house. Is that easy? Well, it needs to be that easy. The more I read, the more powerful I became. However, my mind suddenly froze and I found myself walking back to the drawer, putting the book back and closing the drawer. The lock reset and I snapped out of it. Why? Someone's controlling me. What's going on? Huh? What? I shook my head and looked at the drawer, realizing what I had done. I walked over to the desk to reopen the lock, but suddenly felt the need to stop. No, read more! Something held me back and didn't want me to pry any more than I already had. I want to learn more magics, though. I was curious beyond belief, but I obeyed the thoughts for now. Eventually, I would come back and look into it. I returned to bed feeling the weight of the morning drag me under my covers to try sleeping again. I had energy, but wanted more sleep. It was Sunday, and nothing was happening today. Come on, eyes, back to sleep. I shut my eyes and tried to slow my breathing. I looked at the phone to check the time once again, and it was noon, yet it felt like I had slept for much longer. Why is time going so slowly? I sighed and got changed into normal clothes and went out to the main hall and sat on the stairs. Sundays were very boring. However, the muffled sounds of battle caught my attention. Uh-oh, huh? I quickly went out to the backyard in response to the noise I had heard. In the yard was all 5 of the boys practicing fighting. Sam was in the middle with the other 4 surrounding him and throwing punches and kicks at Sam. Sam, being the strongest of the bunch, blocked and dodged each almost masterfully. Aren't you powerful? Yeah, you know, why not? Hey! All at once, the boys looked at me, frozen in their movements. I just stood at the doorway, staring at them after my outburst. James was the first to break away from the group, stepping towards me.
Good morning. We apologize if we woke you up.
Nah, man, you good. Just checking you guys out. I mean, watching you guys fight. No, it's fine. I'm awake. I've awake for a while now. I'm sorry I interrupted.
It's quite all right. We needed to stop anyway. We don't want to overwork Sam.
Oh, come on, I can handle more than those pity punches.
Your mind seems grateful that we've stopped.
Shut up, Damien.
Yo, mind reading is not cool when it's not, when you're not the one doing it. Just, I feel like I've learned something about that today.
Oh crap, we should probably make some lunch. I'm sure you're starving.
I can handle lunch if you like. You all seem very busy training to beat Malix. I'll take care of it today.
Whoa, seriously?
Hell's that supposed to mean? Yeah, why not? I'm not useless. I know how to cook and do other stuff too.
Well, no, I wasn't insinuating.
What he means to say is that we'd be really grateful if you could make lunch today.
No problem. As I turned to the kitchen, the boys went back to training. They seemed very determined to get better and to become stronger. Might as well make lunch today. It's been a while since I cooked. Uh-oh. Lunch wasn't particularly hard. I decided to make simple chicken and rice, cold cut sandwiches, or pizza. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like cold cut sandwiches is the easiest to make. So, but I don't know. I don't know why, but I don't feel like making something just easy. So, I'll go chicken and rice since that probably takes the most effort. I wonder if that does anything for me. Got to keep their energy and strength up with protein. It took my time to make almost perfect chicken breasts alongside some rice. Cooking wasn't hard unless you didn't know what you were doing in the first place. I placed the food in the dining room. However, none of the boys were there by the time I brought the final dish out. I carried that dish to the main lobby, catching the boys separating into different rooms of the house. Are they going to eat? Part of me wanted to go to one in particular. The other part of me wanted to just leave them be and take the food in my hand to my room and eat. Maybe I could go out today while the boys focused on training. Go into my room and eat. That's a little bit boring. I feel like nothing's gonna happen if I do that. Alright, find one of the incubi. I quickly rushed back and grabbed a second food dish before hunting down one of the boys. I couldn't find any of them. I could only shrug, though. They knew where the food was, so I went to my room and instead ate alone in my room. What? Come on! What did I do that for, then? It's not my problem. How can I not find them? They're in the house! I turned on my computer and started to jam to music as I ate my food. As I ate, I began to think about going out. There were so many places to go, things to do. I wanted to talk to one of the incubi! Oh, man, this is so dumb. Alright, what am I gonna do? What should I do? The arcade again? Stay in my room? I don't want to stay in my room. That sounds boring. The Pink Lady Cafe. Grandfather's grave. The arcade. Okay, so maybe Suzu will be at the arcade? No. I already went there yesterday. Stay in my room sounds too boring. The Pink Lady Cafe. I haven't been there yet. And Grandfather's grave. I don't know why, but I feel like if I go to the grave, there'll be something there. I have this really strange feeling that if I go there, something's gonna happen at Grandfather's grave. Like something really important to the story. So it's between the cafe and the grave. Like, I want to know who this K person is from the cafe, but that might have to be for another day. I think after finding that secret room with the magic book, I feel like the best choice would be to go to Grandfather's grave. I mean, if the priority is to get ready for Malix and I learn some magic spells, maybe something magical happened there. It was Sunday, and I felt the need to see my grandfather. It had been 3 days since he was buried, and the cemetery was only a walk away. You know, thinking about it now, walking alone was probably not the best idea. I decided to see him. I took my time eating and headed out to the street to walk towards the cemetery. It was a good half-hour walk, but it would be a good walk. I would pass by a flower shop. Oh yeah, I did say I was going to put flowers on his grave, didn't I? So I could pick up flowers for his grave. I still felt the sting of grief run through my bones, but I knew that it would eventually fade over time. I paused my journey to the cemetery to enter the flower shop, quickly picking a bouquet from the back display case and paying. "A bouquet of lilies, please. Thank you." With flowers in hand, I made my way to the large steel gates of St. Joseph's Cemetery. I entered and felt the cold shiver of death run against my skin through the air. Would it always be like this? The cemetery was a final resting place. It couldn't have just for mourning or sadness. It was supposed to also be a place for remembrance. I sighed as I walked through the cemetery towards my grandfather's grave. Before I could reach it, though, I noticed a figure standing by the slab. Who's that? I stopped walking and tried to focus my sight to see who was standing at my grandfather's grave before anything. I didn't want to interrupt a prayer or anything, but even less I wanted to know who exactly was there. My mind barely flashed the idea that it was my father, but it couldn't have been him. Familiar, like brown hair covered this person's head instead of the black and gray my father had. He was vaguely familiar. Andrew? Why is Andrew there? Damn, he's pretty broke up about it. It was indeed Andrew. He was dressed in casual clothes, but he was giving his respects to my grandfather. I was curious as to why. I quietly stepped closer and approached Andrew in the grave, being careful not to scare Andrew. At my footsteps, Andrew turned to see me, and realizing it was me, turned fully to me.
"Oh, Miss Anderson. I'm sorry. I'll just..."
Andrew quickly shook his head and took a step to leave. "It's not a big deal, man. You're good." Wait a minute. No, that means he leaves. I do not hate this guy, so there's no reason for me to like be mean to him or anything. So I want to know why he's so upset about it. I mean, probably like an inspirational figure to him or something, you know? Yeah, sure, why not? You're fine, Andrew. I stopped him with a hand and smiled. He was merely paying his respects. There was no need for me to intrude. That's what I'm saying. Andrew stared at me before smiling and nodding, returning to his place in front of the grave. He took a sidestep to make room for me, so I stepped next to him. I looked to the grave, running my gaze through the engraving in the stone slab before gently laying my bouquet down on it. However, I didn't stand back up. I quickly sat down on the grass in front of the grave and stared at it.
"Lilies?"
Common flowers for gravestones, yeah? My grandfather didn't have a favorite flower. I heard and felt Andrew gently crouch down and sit beside me. I turned my head to look at him, catching him nodding and acknowledging to my statement. I turned back to the grave, letting out a small sigh. "So, can I ask why you came here?"
"I came to pay my respects. He was someone I really idolized."
"Yeah, that's what I figured." I turned my head to him again, confused. "Idolized?"
"Mm-hmm. He inspired me to work hard and make people happy. When I interned for his company, he was the first person to greet me at the doors with open arms, even before my father."
So am I sensing, father issues for this guy too? I almost couldn't believe what I was hearing. However, the look in Andrew's eye made my heart break. He truly idolized my grandfather like he was his own grandfather.
"Your grandfather was an amazing man. But I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. He treated me better than my dad ever could. All my dad cares about is me becoming the CEO. But Harold Anderson? No."
Dang, man. Speaking of which, you know, this voice, This voice sounds really familiar to me. Like, it almost sounds like, I haven't seen this anime in a while. It sounds like, whoever the English Sasuke voice actor is in Naruto. It sounds a little bit like, what's his name? Someone put his name in the comments. Yuri Lowenthal? Is that the name? Did I say it right? Okay, if I messed that up, I'm sorry. I have not seen anime in a while, but that's what he sounds like a little bit. I know it's not him. He's not in Seduce Me. I'm just saying, I think that's pretty cool. That he sounds, you know, like one of my favorite characters in Naruto. So, all right. Moving on, I could practically feel my lips move in sync with Andrew's as he continued to speak, almost hearing my grandfather speak alongside him in the air. Really?
He said, "Don't worry about it so much.
Oh,
You
God.
have plenty of time to decide.
Really? He's
Besides, you should do what makes you happy instead."
Wow, this guy really, really likes my grandfather. So, like, clearly there's a connection that can be utilized to, you know, if I wanted to pursue Andrew romantically as the main character. Like, there's things in common here that would make that, very easy to work off of, you know what I mean? Like, loves my grandfather. He's gotten a lot of the same pep talks. He likes making people happy. What else? I think he has dad issues too. Like, his dad sucks. You know, only cares about, you know, taking control of the toy company and using his kid to pull that off. Not a bad person either. He's a tuck in his shirt, though. Alright. He said that to me, too. Andrew turned to me in surprise before smiling.
Really?
Huh.
He cared a lot about you. There were days that he wouldn't stop talking about you and compared you to me.
Really? Oh, come on. This is about to happen. I didn't even realize I was even in this route. This is a route going on, guys. I'm so dumb. I know this is literally my first time playing an Otome game ever, but I didn't realize I was going into this route. I was trying to go into talking with the incubi. I was just making choices just to be nice. It's like, this is I think I'm stuck in this. You know, it's not a big deal. I might play this over one more time, because I was trying to. I wanted to talk to the incubi, if you guys remember, in the house, and it wouldn't let me do it. Really, he cared a lot about you. There were days. Oh wait, why am I reading that? Okay, go. I felt a blush run across my face. Oh my, oh my. What things did he say?
Well, he told me how cute you were and how you loved
Oh, come on, dude.
He also said you always had the perfect ideas for his toys.
Quit trying to butter me up. Quit trying to butter the main character. Oh my god. I felt a smile grow on his face, remembering the small moment when I had helped him design his now most popular toy, the glowing heart bear. Oh, sweet. It became the most popular toy. And I got a house out of it. No, I'm just kidding. They're not related things. I didn't realize how proud of me he was because I was so small, but now that I was older, I was able to understand. He always had me help him, even when I didn't feel like I could. He was the greatest person ever in my life. He treated me better than my dad.
How does your dad treat you?
Oh, let's count the ways. Oh, you know my father, guys. You know your dad. You guys know. He's pretty harsh to me. He wants me to be the CEO of the company as well, since it's technically a family business.
He's strict, like my dad.
Oh boy.
Well, if it ever came to a time where the board had to decide a CEO, I'd gladly give it up for you.
What? What do you mean for me? Okay. Okay. What are you doing, Andrew? What are you doing? I couldn't help but raise an eyebrow. Didn't he want the position? Why? Don't you want to be CEO? Clearly he doesn't. To my surprise, Andrew shook his head with a goofy smile.
I don't.
Whiff.
My dad wants me to take over the Anderson company, but I really am not sure if I want to or not. Sure, making toys is great and helping people is something I want to do, but I don't know if I want to head the company.
You're not sure what you want to do, just like me. Wow, so we're pretty much exactly the same. Come on. This couldn't be any more obvious what's about to happen.
You don't want to be a CEO either?
No. I shook my head. Andrew let out a small laugh.
Man, we must be the worst kids on the planet. Our dads want us to take over a company, but we don't even want to. Imagine what would happen if they actually liked each other.
The universe would explode. And I don't want that. I like my universe the way it is. You know. So I would just go for them respecting me as a person and not a tool for, I don't know, global domination or whatever. I couldn't help but laugh with him. We were in the same boat, yet we were on opposing sides. It was like Romeo versus Juliet. Two competing families for one goal, but the competitors didn't want to even try to reach that goal. Andrew gently stopped laughing and smiled at me.
Your grandfather was right about one thing, though.
Oh, come on!
You're really cute.
Oh, jeez! Just laying it on thick there, aren't you, Andrew? It's not gonna work, buddy! It's not gonna work. Not going to work. It worked. The blush that had faded from my face suddenly returned at his words. I looked away from him, making him laugh again.
Sorry, it's true. Cross my heart.
So, the main character is definitely falling for this dude. I didn't mean it! I didn't mean it to happen! I was trying to, find out more about the incubi. Now it seems like I messed up at some point. I mean, he's a cool guy and stuff. I was trying to do one thing specific. I was trying specifically to talk to either the mind reader Damien or hell, mostly him because Jonah Scott plays him, and I think I messed up at some point. I mean, I'm not that upset, but whatever. This dude, he's using those words of his. He ain't fooling me, man. You ain't fooling me. Alright. Let's go. He was flattering me. I had to admit he was cute too, but I had only known him a short while. It wasn't realistic to like him more than that. Andrew cleared his throat and sat up straight, rubbing the back of his neck.
I'll let you have some time with your grandfather. I don't have anywhere to be, so I'll wait by the gates and give you a ride home when you're done.
Ah, sweet. Free ride. Yeah, man. I feel like that was a mistake again. Okay, anyway. It was very sweet of him to wait for me, so I accepted his ride home. Andrew smiled before heading back to the gates. I remained with my grandfather. I'm sure you're laughing where you are, Grandpa. I practically glared at the grave, but after a brief second, I smiled. He's a sweet guy, and he's a big fan of yours. Who wouldn't be? You cared for everyone, no matter who they were. I gently ran a finger over one of the lilies in the bouquet. It was soft to touch, but my mind was filled with Andrew for some reason. Was this grandfather's plan? Did he hope for me to meet Andrew as a kindred spirit? And I wouldn't be surprised. I chuckled softly before standing. I'll be fine, Grandpa. Andrew's a good guy, but, who knows? I shrugged before letting out a sigh and turning back to the cemetery gate, where Andrew waited for me. Andrew led me into his car and drove me home. I went to my room and remained there until dinner. The remainder of the night went surprisingly uneventful. The boys continued to train with each other, but were kind enough to stop and make me dinner. I was glad for that. Surprisingly, the food was perfect, but it felt a little empty without the boys to eat with me. They most likely had already eaten still, but still I felt lonely. Man, I feel like there should have been more interaction. I really did mess up somewhere. Alright. Where did I mess up at? I couldn't let it bother me. I ate and went back to my room to study and sleep. Surprisingly, I felt good going to bed that night. I felt like I could have a peaceful sleep after the previous rough nights I had. It felt good. I drifted to sleep and woke up almost flawlessly that next morning. No grogginess, no aches, perfectly energized and bright-eyed. Man, how long has it been since I got that much sleep? I looked to my alarm clock. I woke up 10 minutes before my alarm. Well, hey, I must be lucky today. Oh, I hate that word. And considering the situation that's been going on the last 3 days, I really hate when I see words like this. That means something the opposite of this is going to happen. That's what that means. I guarantee it. Karma owed me some luck. Yeah, it did. After all I had gone through in merely a handful of days, I deserved to get some good luck. Ecstatic for the day ahead, I turned off my alarms before I could ring and got dressed. However, my phone started to quickly buzz from an incoming text. Huh? Who's texting me this early? Better not be
Yo,
Andrew.
Anderson! You're carpooling with us from now on. We're not letting you waste your money on a bus. Get ready and be at your gate at 7 stat.
Oh, isn't that nice, Suzu? I thought Naomi was gonna say something like, I was gonna be like, they text together too? Oh, this couldn't be any better. Of course I wouldn't mind. Anyway, I smiled. My friends were the best. I couldn't drive yet and didn't have a car, so it was awesome that my friends would let me carpool. Man, free rides everywhere, yo. I checked the time, 6:30, so half an hour. Okay. Perfect, I can eat some breakfast before they come. I packed my bag and carried it downstairs into the kitchen. I quickly made myself coffee and toast, not having time for anything big. I let out a soft sigh in happiness as I sipped my coffee. I felt great, and I felt like nothing could stop me today. This is going too well. When in a story like this, if anything is going too well, it's going to be canceled out by something really, really, really bad. Just saying. That's how I feel. I'm very, I don't know. I'm not a negative person. It's just, I've seen stories like this before. Come at me, Day. I'm ready for you. Oh, it will come at you, all right. It's coming. I looked at the time again. Time to go. Seriously, not a single incubi shows up? I quickly rushed to the door, checking myself in the passing mirror. I wasn't wanting to impress anyone, but I still needed to look decent. Right on cue, Naomi drove up to the gates with Suzu waving me down. I rushed out the door and we headed to school, talking about the homework in the coming day. We made it to school without a hitch. Our lockers were in the same part of the hall, so we quickly unloaded what we needed to and got our important books and necessities. First incident of the day. As I walked towards Suzu and Naomi, who were both waiting for me on the opposite side of the hall, something hooked my ankle and made me fall forward. Really? Really? Someone wants to get their ass whooped. That's what's about to happen. Whoa. Ow!
Hey, are you okay?
Why would someone do that to me? It's probably
Who did that?
I wonder. It's probably that, what's her name? That bitch Lisette, right? Yep, there you are. Oh, we're fighting now. The two of us looked back to see Lisette and her gaggle of girls. Didn't she just, like, not even a few days ago, was like, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. And then, like, back to normal, like, immediately after? Come on. Why you gotta be so rude? The three of us looked back to see Lisette and her gaggle of girls. Lisette had a look of complete innocence. Sure, she does. Does that look like innocence to you guys? No. It looks like she's about to give me a wedgie. That's what it looks like. A look of complete innocence, air quotes, while the girls around her giggled like no tomorrow.
Why, you little... Suzu, don't!
I felt a giant fire of anger burn in my stomach as I stared at Lisette. Today was not the only time this had happened to me. However, it was now clear who was behind these incidents. Even if she was innocent and one of her goonies did it, it was now obvious that Lisette was the mastermind just from the look on her face. She was no friend, nor would she ever be. I had to do something. Glare into her soul! Stand up and walk away or get her. I really want to fight her, though. I really do. I really do, guys. Alright. Contrary to the choice I'm about to make, this is not something you want to do in this situation in school. If any of you are still going to school, you must get the teacher. You must talk to someone about it. Okay? Do not fight the bully. It's wrong. That's not how you do it. But we're gonna beat the hell out of this bitch right now. Get her! I had enough. I felt adrenaline rush through my body as I bounced off the ground and rushed at Lisette. Such a horrible person. I was not going to be the only one with scrapes this time. Damn, girl! I tackled Lisette to the ground. Damn! I'm overdue. Holy! I forgot this person knows Taekwondo. Oh, maybe this was a mistake. Calm down. Oh, I tackled Lisette to the ground, swiping and slapping her innocent face. She screamed in fright before trying to push me off and block my attacks.
Holy shit! Anderson!
Oh, wow! Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh no, I wasn't listening anymore. I let my cardinal need to get revenge take over as I began to pull at Lisette's hair and get better, aim at her face with my free hand. I had enough of the bullying, the wounds, the insults. All of that was going to burn in the past as I scraped my nails and hand across Lisette's face over and over. Oh my god. My rebellion would be marked on her pretty face for all to see. I'm so evil right now. I really I gotta stop. Someone stop me, please. Lisette pushed me off and scrambled to her feet, both panicked and angry at the same time. Her emotion was nowhere close to the anger I was feeling.
Are you crazy? What the hell?
It's your fault! What are you talking about, what the hell? Like... I stood up very slowly, glaring daggers into Lisette's soul through her eyes. I must have had some sort of monster behind me, or maybe I looked like the monster myself, but the gaggle of girls Lisette and even my friends had the look of pure terror on their faces. I have had enough of you, Lisette. You obviously won't stop unless I fight back. Well, guess what? You're gonna get it. Damn! I'm stronger than I look. It's kinda hot. Okay. Stop, James. Moving on. I charged at Lisette a second time, shoving her hard against the lockers. She let out a yelp of pain as she smacked the back of her head against the metal behind her before glaring and shoving me back. As I stumbled back, Lisette raised her hands ready to fight.
Then come on, Anderson. Show me what you've got. I bet it's not much.
I felt a snarl in anger before. I felt myself snarl in anger before raising my own fist, remembering my Taekwondo. I wasn't even using Taekwondo at this point. Oh, she might die. She just might die, yo. I quickly snapped into one leg and raised my leg to get a swift kick at her head, but she blocked with her arm and stepped toward me to jab at me. Looks like she knows a little something. She had training, not surprising. I didn't care at that moment. I bent back away from the incoming jab, reestablishing my balance as I placed both feet on the floor. Lisette threw jab upon jab at me, forcing me to block my torso and face with my arms and hands. Not bad. Hit for hit, Lisette and I exchanged and defended blows at each other. It was indeed more than just a catfight. This was a vengeful duel. In my mind, all I saw was Lisette. All I wanted was to make her stop, and if that meant beating her down, then it had to be done. Oh man. We eventually gained a small crowd of people. Huh. Guess they're placing bets or something? All silent but observing the fight. My anger intensified and my hits became harder with each second that passed between us. I couldn't let her win. I couldn't let her win. Why is no one stopping me? None of Lisette's girls dared to step in, apparently afraid to after seeing our skills and individual fighting styles. Suzu was held back by Naomi's arm, despite both of them wanting to help me. They didn't wait long for it to end, though. Finally... Damn. Suddenly, Lisette was pulled away from me, and I was pushed against the lockers by a strong force. Lisette hit the lockers as well, and on the opposite end of the hallway, letting out a girly grunt of pain. Look at this girl over here. Oh, look, she's got 2 different colored eyes. Sweet. What, is she like the art teacher? Something tells me she's the art teacher. Oh, wait, she's right there. Looked up to see my art teacher, Miss Gordon. Nailed it! Holding me against the lockers with a look of surprise and serious concern on her face.
Miss Anderson, what are you doing?
Oh, that's Helen. Hey, it's Helen's voice. She was in Honey Pop. Oh, who? Oh, word? You gonna cry? Okay, you gonna fake that? Got you, got you. And look at this. Look at this. She ain't falling for it. She's like, oh, look. Come on. We just saw you, like, do Mortal Kombat moves, like, 5 seconds ago. Or, not Mortal Kombat, more like Street Fighter, maybe? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're fighting moves. I looked to see Lisette being held back by Miss Phillips, starting to cry innocently. I knew what was going to come out of her mouth, so I tried to push Miss Gordon off to confront her. Miss Gordon, however, kept an arm wrapped around me, keeping me back. No! Don't you dare start crying, Lisette. You started this!
Miss Anderson, get a hold of yourself!
What is wrong with you? What did I ever do to you? I couldn't help. I couldn't stop the angry tears running down my face as I shouted across the hallway. Lisette and Miss Phillips stared in shock at my screams as Miss Gordon tightened her hold on me. I am so sick of it! Leave me alone! Eventually, I lost my energy and began to weigh down on Miss Gordon's arms, letting my sadness take over and quench my anger with tears and swelling pain. I could feel Miss Gordon hug me to her to keep me up as Lisette sniffed and confided with Miss Phillips.
I didn't do anything to her. She just attacked me all of a sudden.
Is that Kendra's voice? I'll have to ask her later. I think that's Kendra. You know, yeah, I think it's Kendra.
That's a lie, Lisette. You tripped her on purpose. You've always been a snobby prick to us.
Yeah, you tell her, Suzu.
Never! I
Never?
gave my condolences about her grandfather's death. I try to keep everyone calm. Is that so wrong?
Oh, I don't like you. I don't like you. You deserve that beatdown you got. You really did.
You didn't even sound sincere. We know you were only pretending to be nice to spite us.
Enough. Miss White, follow me to the dean's office.
Yeah, ooh, you in trouble. Yeah. Hopefully this is the last time I have to deal with her. Now she knows what's up. Lisette followed, wiping her eyes in the feigned innocence she knew how to play up. I remained still in Miss Gordon's arms, unable to bring myself to fight to get at Lisette again. Yes, in Miss Gordon's arms. Yes, stay there. Dude, I like her eyes. Okay, I'm just saying. Like, green and blue eyes, that's sweet. I had done my damage. The gaggle of Lisette wannabes would make sure I became infamous around the school. I didn't care. I'd made my statement on Lisette's face and body, and I wasn't afraid to do it again. Miss Gordon, however, wasn't done with me.
Come with me, sweetie.
Okay. My reaction to that isn't what it should be. Is she romanceable? Probably not. I nodded and followed. And even if she was, knowing how much I suck at in games like this, I wouldn't get that route anyway. Just saying. I nodded and followed. My friends frowned as they watched me leave, but they headed to class without me. Miss Gordon led me to an empty classroom, which she had claimed as hers. It looked like all the other classrooms, but art posters had lined the walls. Well, definitely art teacher-ish. Must be her classroom. Many students loved to be in the room, but hated one thing: the mirror in the very back of the room. Why is there a mirror in the back of the room? It was one thing Miss Gordon loved to use against her students, with that she was able to see who was using their phones and who was actually studying. Lame! Anyways, Miss Gordon led me to the back of the room and sat me down in front of it.
What do you see?
Huh?
Tell me what you see.
I looked in the mirror and saw myself. My clothes were a little ruffled from the fight, but beyond that, I saw just me. Nothing about me seemed different than normal. I see myself. I am myself.
Alright. What else?
I see your hand on my shoulder. Yeah. I don't mind. I don't mind, though. What else? I don't understand.
Do you know what I see?
Why don't you, clue me in on that?
I see a brilliant woman who's been working her butt off to try and find herself. She just has a little bit of adversity in her way.
A little bit? No. It's not just a little bit, but you got the right idea. What does this have to do with what happened with Lisette?
Listen, don't think about Lisette right now. She's just another student who doesn't know what you're going through.
I don't see where you're going with this. If you're trying to say that she didn't deserve that beatdown, we're about to have a disagreement. I stared at myself in the mirror, unable to tear my eyes away. She was right, but I still lingered on what happened with Lisette. I know Miss Gordon was only trying to help, but I couldn't fight the thoughts in my head. Miss Gordon gently rubbed my shoulders. Oh my. Snapping me from my thoughts. I looked up to see her smile down at me through the mirror.
You know, those were some pretty interesting moves. Taekwondo.
Oh, come on. Are you sure I can't? This is not a route. I don't know. I am an Otome game virgin right now. Is this about to happen? I don't... What are the rules? I don't know rules. I was joking before about that. About trying to... I don't know. I really don't know. I'll just go. Yeah.
You'll have to show me one day.
Really? Is this possible? Is this gonna happen? I really don't know, guys. I don't know. Is this... Hey, Miss Gordon, our teacher, show me some art or something. Yeah, I could show you some moves one day. Wow. I laughed as she hugged me gently.
Look, don't let Lisette get to you, okay? You have your own battles to face, and you can face them just fine. Instead of fighting Lisette, focus on your goals.
I looked up at her and nodded slightly. It was cliche to hear, but she was telling the truth. I needed to focus on myself first. She gave me a small packet of tissues and her phone number. No, just kidding. and told me that she would handle Lisette. The fear about my family learning about this had quickly appeared to have the fear about hearing my family learning about this had quickly vanished when she promised to keep me out of it as much as she could.
Everything will be fine now. You're a good student, so I'll let you off with a severe warning. Just don't get into any more fights, okay? Now, head to class.
Yes, Miss Gordon. I nodded before heading to class. Surprisingly, the rest of the school day went off without another incident. I went to my classes, had lunch, and was anxious to get home. As the bell rang for school to end, I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. A text from Dad. I'll be picking you up today. Make sure you're ready to go when I get there. That's kind of a surprise. I really don't want to deal with him right now. I quickly headed back to my locker and got my things before waiting for Naomi and Suzu.
Hey, are you ready to go?
Actually, my dad's picking me up.
Really? Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense.
No, it really doesn't. That doesn't make sense at all.
We'll drive home together next time. Tell your dad that we've got you covered from now on.
Yep, we'll do that. We'll do that. Even while I laughed, something didn't seem right. My dad texted me to say this? Why was he going to pick me up? Had I done something wrong? Well, I did have a fight, so maybe he found out about that. I didn't know. I waved Naomi and Suzu goodbye before heading off to the usual spot where my dad picks me up. I took the time to listen to my music while I waited. Probably that, I think I know what music that is. The Chain of Monster theme song, probably. Oh yeah, speaking of which, all the songs in this game, you can actually go buy them. I think I'll leave a link somewhere in the description for that. So, you know, I've already got my copy, and I listened to the soundtrack. It's really good. There's a bunch of tracks in there I could just listen to a whole bunch of times. I think, one of my favorites is the arcade one. The arcade one is pretty sweet. I like video games. I need to go to another Rise of the Phoenix concert. Eventually, I had played the entire album with no one showing up. What the hey? That's never late, especially not this late. I quickly dialed my dad's number again, but as soon as I pressed call, it disconnected and read a signal disconnection error message. Oh no, what's going on? I don't want to click. I think I know what this means. What the? No signal error? How do I not have signal? I double-checked my phone and saw all 5 bars for signal. Did someone like cast a spell in the area or something? Fuck. I must be in a dead zone. Before I could finish, a group of hands grabbed at my hands, feet, and covered my mouth. Knew it! I scrambled into the hand. I screamed into the hand over my mouth, struggling to pull away from the hands, grabbing at my limbs. It felt disgusting and scary. Feeling their hands on me, I needed it to stop.
Hey! Don't dirty up Malix's...
No! Oh, this is bad. This is bad. The voice, which sent a fearful shiver down my spine, whispered into my ear.
You're coming with me, Miss Anderson.
Yep, I know. This is happening. Oh, look, what lucky day. Oh, I just knew things were gonna get better. Told you, I told you guys. Man. The only consolation is that she is smoking hot, yes. But, you know, I ain't got time for that. Gotta figure what the hell to do. Use some magic! Abracadabra yourself out of there, man. I don't know. I couldn't fathom what was happening, but before I knew it, I was blindfolded and my limbs were quickly tied up. I felt myself being carried somewhere and was shoved into something that echoed the interior of a bus or van. The doors closed and off I was taken, unsure of where I was going and why. All I knew was that I was in trouble. All I saw was darkness. I felt numb as I was taken to a place I didn't know of. I couldn't even move my lips to scream. Sound zipped past my ears, first of the interior of a car, then the outside, then an echoey space with whispers and cackles of people vibrating through it. However, the wrap around my eyes was eventually removed from my face and my bonds were cut. It took a while for my eyes to adjust, but I found myself in a warehouse surrounded by devils, including Malix, who was smirking at me.
Nicely done! I'm sure those little shits will come running to find you when they realize you didn't return to your precious little mansion. They'll search everywhere for you.
Oh, well. Couldn't say I was surprised. I really couldn't. I mean, the whole day was setting itself up for this BS. I just can't get a break. Speaking of breaks, I'm gonna take one right now. I need more coffee. So, hope you guys enjoyed this little, this Let's Play so far. If you haven't gotten the game yet, I don't know why. If you're watching this video and you haven't played the game, what are you doing? There's a download link in the description. Go get it. It's free. And as you can see, it's quite fun. And if you haven't already, you should, you know, like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and YouTube, of course. And, get ready for more cool things coming in the future, whether they're Let's Plays, whether it's more productions like the new Earhart that we're working on. Who knows? You might like what you see. So I think I'm gonna go take a break now, and yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys around, okay? Bye. Oh yeah, I'm so bad at this. Dude, let me know what games you want me to play so I can do this more often. It's kind of fun. Alright? Peace out.